The 2025 NFL season is here, and defense once again separates contenders from pretenders. While some teams bring back dominant units with playoff-tested cores, others are scrambling to fix glaring holes at every level. Defense still wins championships, but not all units are built the same. Some teams bring chaos off the edge, others rely on lockdown corners or smart layered schemes. This year's 32-team defensive ranking sorts the elite from the exposed, spotlighting which defenses can dictate games, and which ones are just trying to survive. Whether you're scouting strengths or spotting weaknesses, here's where every defense stands heading into 2025. Number 32, New Orleans Saints. New Orleans enters 2025 with one of the league's weakest defenses. The secondary lacks playmakers, and the front seven offers little pass rush or run-stopping force. The coaching transition under Kellen Moore has not clarified the scheme identity or discipline. With no key offseason upgrades, this unit remains soft and consistently vulnerable to chunk plays. Number 31, Tennessee Titans. The Titans struggled in 2024, ranking near the bottom in pressure rate and points allowed. The defensive line lacks interior push, and the edge presence is minimal. Coverage breakdowns and poor linebacker reads were common. With offseason additions focused on offense, their defensive issues remain largely unresolved. Tennessee heads into 2025 as a porous, unbalanced defense. Number 30, New York Giants. The Giants show modest improvement, but still sit in the bottom third. Pass rush remains inconsistent, and the run defense is exploitable. Additions like Abdul Carter and Jevon Holland bring upside, but coverage breakdowns persist. Without standout playmakers or a coherent scheme, New York remains a liability until fundamentals and cohesion improve. Number 29, Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's defense continues to underperform. The front lacks disruptive edge and interior force, and their linebackers struggle with coverage discipline. Veteran talent in the secondary has not prevented big plays. Injuries and inconsistent execution undermine the group. Until they establish a consistent identity, Cleveland stays near the bottom. Number 28, New England Patriots. New England's defense remains fundamentally sound but lacks top-tier playmakers. The front seven is disciplined against the run, with Christian Barmore leading the interior. Linebackers are solid but not dynamic in space. The secondary is young and developing after losing key veterans. Under Jared Mayo, the scheme stays multiple and adaptable, but the talent ceiling limits splash plays. This unit is steady and assignment sure, but without game changers, they settle into the lower third of the rankings. Number 27, Jacksonville Jaguars. A coaching change creates uncertainty in Jacksonville. Travis Hunter boosts the secondary, but the front seven generates little pressure. Rookie head coach Liam Cohen has reset the culture, but defensive fundamentals remain raw. There is upside, but this unit currently ranks in the bottom third with growing pains ahead. Number 26, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts emphasized offense this offseason, leaving the defense vulnerable. The defensive line struggles to disrupt, and linebackers are inconsistent in coverage. The secondary allows deep completions too often. With no significant reinforcements, this defense lacks the playmakers to climb beyond a below-average ranking. Number 25, Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas continues to lag defensively. The front lacks penetration, giving up big yardage on the ground. Their secondary leans on aging veterans without the speed to recover. Turnover generation is low, and the coaching staff hasn't solved communication breakdowns. Until chemistry and talent align, expect another year of underperformance. No, 24 Arizona Cardinals. Arizona remains near the bottom, despite drafting Walter Nolan and Will Johnson. The defensive line still struggles to generate pressure, and the back seven allows big plays. Budda Baker can't carry the secondary alone. Their 3-4 zone-heavy scheme has potential, but it hinges on rookie development. Until then, issues persist. Number 23, Miami Dolphins. Miami's defense remains stagnant. The line lacks consistent interior pressure and the edge rush is streaky. The secondary was plagued by coverage busts, and linebackers lack explosiveness. With off-season resources directed at the offense, the defense saw minimal help. Without meaningful improvements, this unit continues to hover below average. Number 22, Chicago Bears. Chicago's defense remains in a rebuilding phase. While the offense took strides forward, the defense lacks similar investment. The pass rush is inconsistent, and the young secondary continues to give up key mismatches, especially against experienced receivers. Linebackers show promise, but still miss assignments in space. Without key veteran anchors or impact rookies, the ceiling for this group stays modest in 2025. Number 21, Carolina Panthers. Carolina's defense shows flashes of talent, but remains incomplete. Brian Burns headlines the edge, but interior pressure is weak and often exploited. The linebacking unit is young and athletic, but lacks polish in zone drops and gap integrity. J.C. Horn has CB1 ability, but the rest of the secondary struggles with coverage, consistency, and injuries. Despite switching defensive coordinators, the scheme remains conservative and reactive. Without major offseason upgrades, this defense stays below average in 2025. There are splash plays from stars, but not enough structure or depth to hold up consistently. Number 20, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas still has top-tier stars, but the depth behind them is shaky. The edge rush remains dangerous with Micah Parsons, yet interior run defense is soft and easily manipulated. Injuries in the secondary, especially to Trevon Diggs and Darren Bland, exposed serious coverage flaws. Coaching changes add to the volatility. Number 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is stout against the run but vulnerable through the air. They ranked 4th in fewest rushing yards allowed, but gave up the 4th most passing yards. Antoine Winfield Jr. anchors the secondary, yet edge and slot coverage weaknesses persist. The 2025 draft focused on offense, leaving defensive gaps untouched. Strong versus the run, but soft in pass defense. Number 18, Washington Commanders. Washington allowed the 3rd fewest passing yards, but ranked 3rd worst against the run. Edge pressure disappeared after losing key pass rushers, and linebackers struggled with gap discipline. Dan Quinn's man-oriented system aims to reinforce fundamentals, but personnel misfits linger. Strong in coverage, weak at the point of attack. A team trying to rebuild defensive balance. Number 17, Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals revamped their front seven, adding edge rusher Shamar Stewart and linebackers Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter. Al Golden replaces Lou Anarumo, bringing a more aggressive philosophy. The secondary remains inconsistent, with breakdowns in deep zones. There's upside in the trenches, but coverage reliability remains a key concern. Number 16, Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh boasts a top-tier pass rush led by TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. Cameron Hayward and rookie Derek Harmon solidify the front, while Minkah Fitzpatrick provides elite safety play. However, cornerback inconsistency and coverage lapses persist. They're disruptive up front and opportunistic in the back, but need steadier play at corner to crack the top tier. Number 15, Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City quietly finished 9th in total defense and 4th in points allowed. Their interior line is stout against the run, and the secondary plays sound zone coverage. They're not flashy, but the unit limits mistakes and supports the offense. Efficient, disciplined, and structurally solid. A balanced defense with few glaring holes. Number 13, Seattle Seahawks. Seattle ranked top half overall and registered 45 sacks. Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence anchor a physical defensive front. The linebackers are disciplined, while the secondary blends veterans and youth. Witherspoon, Woolen, and rookie Nick Emenwari provide versatility. A disruptive pass rush and playmaking back end give this defense solid upside. Number 12, Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers allowed just 17.7 points per game, best in the NFL last season, and featured a dominant defensive front. Their corners, however, struggle with consistency. The linebacker unit is solid, but unspectacular. If the secondary improves, this could become a top 10 defense. Tough in the trenches, but pass coverage must catch up. Number 11, Detroit Lions. Detroit finished 5th against the run, but 2nd worst in pass defense. Aiden Hutchinson leads a relentless front, and the linebackers are reliable. The secondary is improving with Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. The latter led the league with 9 interceptions. This is a physical, turnover-hungry group trending upward fast. Number 10, Green Bay Packers. Green Bay ranked top 7 in total, scoring, and run defense. They lost Jair Alexander but added Nate Hobbs and have Xavier McKinney and Kezian Nixon in the secondary. The pass rush is consistent, and the system functions smoothly. No weak links, just a steady, well-coached unit that delivers each week. Number 9, San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco brings elite talent across the board. Nick Bosa and Arik Armstead up front, an athletic linebacker unit, and opportunistic defensive backs. They rotate personnel efficiently and rarely give up big plays. Their hybrid scheme adjusts mid-game and thrives in high-pressure moments. Intelligent, adaptable, and playoff-proven. Number 8, Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons have quietly built one of the NFL's most improved defenses. Their 2025 turnaround is driven by smart roster additions and a scheme that plays to player strengths. The interior is anchored by Christian Wilkins, who brings elite-level disruption against both the run and pass. Arnold Ebiketie adds speed off the edge, giving Atlanta a credible pass rush from multiple fronts. In the secondary, Jesse Bates III remains the tone setter. He diagnoses plays early and rarely gives up ground in coverage. Rookie Kamari Lassiter joins the cornerback group and brings man coverage toughness and SEC-level polish. His physicality and footwork fit perfectly into new defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake's system, a modern, matchup-based scheme that emphasizes flexibility and athleticism. Lake's units disguise coverage, rotate safeties post-snap, and constantly shift fronts. This versatility makes them hard to read and harder to game plan for. They don't have elite dominance yet, but the pieces are falling into place. Fast, physical, and well-coached. Atlanta is clearly on the rise. Number 7. New York Jets. The Jets remain one of the NFL's most punishing defensive units. It starts up front with Quinnen Williams, who anchors the line with strength and explosion. He commands double teams and creates lanes for edge rushers Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald IV, both of whom bring high-speed pressure off the edge. On the back end, the Jets field one of the league's best cornerback duos in Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. Gardner shuts down top receivers with elite footwork and length, while Reed adds grit and coverage intelligence. Behind them, the safeties play disciplined football and clean up mistakes. Head coach Robert Saleh's system continues to emphasize structure and execution. The Jets don't blitz often. They rely on a four-man rush and tight zone coverage to suffocate offenses. They rarely give up explosive plays and consistently force opponents into third and long situations. This defense is built on speed, leverage, and fundamentals. They're not flashy, but they don't need to be. No, 6 Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota thrives on chaos under defensive coordinator Brian Flores. His aggressive, blitz-heavy scheme helped the Vikings post 59 sacks in 2024, making them one of the league's most disruptive units. Rookie edge rusher Dallas Turner emerged as a difference maker with his blend of speed and finishing ability. The linebackers are critical in this scheme. Ivan Pace Jr. and Jalen Ford bring sideline-to-sideline range and regularly rotate between coverage and pressure responsibilities. Byron Murphy Jr. provides reliable coverage in the slot and outside, especially in disguise-heavy packages where the Vikings switch zones post-snap. What makes Minnesota dangerous is unpredictability. Flores sends pressure from any position and disguises coverage shells until the last second. This forces quarterbacks into quick, often incorrect decisions. It's a high-risk system, but with the right personnel, it works. Minnesota plays fast, aggressive, and with full trust in its scheme. Number 5, Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are a top-tier defense built around speed, physicality, and depth. They allowed just 80 rushing yards per game in 2024, thanks to the dominance of Roquan Smith and Justin Madubuike up front. Both excel at controlling the line of scrimmage and closing run lanes before they develop. In the secondary, Kyle Hamilton plays multiple roles: deep safety, box defender, and even slot corner. He's now joined by Malachi Starks, a rising playmaker, and veteran Chidobe Awuzie, who adds experience and clean technique on the perimeter. Baltimore's defensive identity hasn't changed. They're assignment sound, violently physical, and playoff proven. They don't miss tackles, they force third downs, and they know how to finish games. Number 4, Houston Texans. Houston's defense is young, explosive, and fully operational under DeMeco Ryans. The pass rush, led by Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter, generated 49 sacks in 2024. The linebacker duo of Azeez Al-Shaair and E.J. Speed adds range and instinct, helping erase plays before they break open. In the secondary, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson leads a unit that thrives on anticipation and opportunism. They bait throws, close quickly, and convert mistakes into turnovers. Ryans has installed a culture of discipline and controlled aggression. This group plays fast but rarely out of position. They're balanced across all levels and capable of dictating terms to any offense. Number 3, Buffalo Bills. Buffalo overhauled its front seven in 2025, landing Joey Bosa and multiple early-round picks to bolster their pass rush and interior strength. The linebacker unit plays fast and with strong chemistry, erasing gaps and limiting second-level gains. The secondary mixes experienced veterans with ascending talent, providing tight zone coverage and reliable tackling. Under Leslie Frazier, the scheme emphasizes leverage, aggression, and turnovers. Fierce at the line, fluid in coverage, this unit is dominant on all fronts. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia brings relentless pressure up front with a deep rotation led by Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. The linebacker core, highlighted by Nakobe Dean and rookie Malik Brooks, flies to the ball. Their secondary, bolstered by Tyke Smith and Kyrie Jackson, executes aggressive man-zone hybrids under Jonathan Gannon's direction. This defense generates stops, strips the ball, and thrives in chaos. They can suffocate vertical threats, crash run lanes, and dictate tempo, balanced, violent, and built to win in January. Number 1, Denver Broncos. Denver enters 2025 with the league's most complete and disruptive defense. They finished 3rd in scoring defense and 7th in total defense in 2024, then improved the roster even further. Zach Allen, Nick Bonito, and Jonathan Cooper fuel a pass rush that logged 63 sacks. Patrick Surtain II, coming off a Defensive Player of the Year campaign, headlines a lockdown secondary alongside explosive safeties. The unit forces takeaways, limits explosive plays, and adapts to any scheme. Elite at every level, Denver's defense sets the tone and wins games outright.